the best thing that I did to prepare for labor was educating myself on what to expect and what I wanted out of the experience. I think a lot of people just go with the flow and go with what their doctors tell them, and doctors are very well educated and you should listen to them, but you should also know for yourself what you want. So when labor happened and delivery happened, I was not frightened. And I knew that I could do it. I knew that it was going to hurt, but that I would get through it. And I think that that was the most important thing that got me through it. It was just because I knew everything that was happening.
Mm-hmm.
Labor is you know going into it that it's going to be the worst pain you've ever experienced, and it's worse than that. It hurt so bad. I remember looking on the internet, like trying to figure out what a contraction felt like before, when I was towards the end, because I wanted to, am I having contractions? Am I in labor? Is this happening? And I couldn't find a good description. Google did not help me out, and I couldn't understand why. And now I do, because all I can tell you is that it hurt, and I don't know what it felt like. But there's also an end in sight. You also know that it's going to end, and you're going to get a baby. So it's not like you have kidney stones and all you get out of it is some weird little rocks. You get a baby. And there's hormones coursing through your body, and they make it feel better. Well, they don't make it feel better, but they make it bearable. And if you have a supportive partner, that's very helpful. I think my husband felt at a loss because he couldn't take the pain away, but just having him there, just having him there in the experience with me was very helpful. He tried. So I guess that's two things. It hurts. You should have a good partner. About delivery.
What about being a mom?
It's very instinctual. I had very little experience with babies. I mean, pretty much zero experience with babies. The midwives had to show us how to put a diaper on. But from then on, you just do it. You just go, and you listen to advice from everyone, and I read on the internet and figure out what things could be, but then you just do what feels right to you, and it works out, and your baby's gonna love you. And it's not, I mean, it's difficult because you're tired and because it's a new experience, but it's because it's so instinctual, you just do it. You just do it, and it works out. So I vaguely knew about postpartum constipation, but that was pretty much the worst thing in the world.
Okay.
It was very bad, and that's all I'm going to say.
It exists.
It exists, and it's painful. It's very painful, especially because you just had a baby and you're all ripped up. So, I mean, I think just make sure you're really well hydrated, and you eat a lot of fiber, but I think that if it's going to happen, it's going to happen anyway, so. But that ends.
Right.
Thank God that ends. So. So something I read in a forum somewhere online, which really stuck with me, was that you should have your partner take, because you're going to be the primary caretaker, most likely, because you're the mom. You're giving birth, and you're probably going to be breastfeeding, even if you're not. We live in America, so you get leave, hopefully. But if you have your partner take as much time off work as he can so that he can really get into the nitty-gritty of parenting and know how to change a diaper and know what it means when your baby cries and be a full partner in parenting before he goes back to work, then when he does go back to work and he's home, he won't be nervous around the baby. He won't say, I don't know how to do it, you take the baby. And you won't be, say, just give me the baby, because I know what to do, and you don't know what to do. And I think that's a big, he lost his shoe. I think that's a big thing, is that the mom wants the dad to do more, and the dad wants to do more, but the mom's just like, I know how to do it, so just give me the baby. So if there's any way possible that your partner can take, I mean, my husband took a month off, and it was a really good month. It was winter time, so we just sat around and bonded together, and my husband did, 50% of everything except for feeding. And now on weekends and when he comes home from work, I hand him the baby, and he knows what to do. And he has a really, I know a lot of people say, oh, well, I want to give the baby a bottle so the dad can bond with the baby. But, I mean, that's great if you want to do that. But there are so many ways to bond other than feeding that seems like a silly thing to get stuck on for me, because my husband is very bonded with this baby. He dances her to sleep. He changes her diaper. He does everything. And it's a beautiful, beautiful thing to see. So I woke up in active labor, like active labor, which is kind of awesome. I just slept through most of the contractions, I think. So then when I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, what is happening to me? And I had just woken up, so I was 42 weeks pregnant. I had had castor oil. I mean, we were really trying to get things moving, but still when I woke up, I didn't know that I was in labor. I just thought that something terrible was happening inside of me. And my husband had to say, I think you're probably in labor. So it was really shocking to me. And I took a Bradley class, and they teach you all these relaxation techniques and mantras and things to do to get you through it. But I think really just what got me through it is after my husband told me I was in labor, I knew what was happening. I knew what was going to happen, and it hurt. It hurt. I knew it was going to hurt, and it hurt worse than that. And I threw up from the pain a couple of times, and I've never done that before. And I was screaming at the top of my lungs, which I didn't think I was going to do, and it didn't really help. So I'm not going to say that helped. I think just what helped is that I knew what was happening. And I knew it was going to end. I did get on all fours, and I think I was at home, so I was able to move around, and I wasn't constrained to a bed. After I got out of bed in labor, I did not get back in bed until I was delivering the placenta. I was walking around. I was bouncing on an exercise ball. And I think when I gave birth, I was on all fours with my head resting on the exercise ball. That exercise ball has been through a lot. So again, I started the interview with the same thing. I think education is the most important thing. And preparing your body as well. I'd done a lot of squatting and working out, and I had a 3-hour labor, so that was awesome. And then I got a little baby. So there you go.
Awesome. Thank you.